Okay, good afternoon again to everyone and welcome to the next class of inventory. We are going to go through the perpetual inventory system. We dealt with the periodic inventory system on Monday. And like I said, the recording of Monday's class is uploaded under announcements. I uploaded it, I think, this afternoon, yes. So you are welcome to look at the recording and then yeah, I think it's always good to look at it after the class when you have time, since you can stop forward or not forward, rather go back and go forth and so on. And then also work on your time, not according to my time and speed that I go through the work. So yes, I hope that the class will be success and that you will learn something. I do want to apologize if I am a bit faster than I was on Monday. Our time is a bit limited, but I'll try my best to still get through all the slides. If I'm going too fast, those of you who have 10 questions, please make a note and then you're welcome to email us. Let me see, there's already someone in the chat. Guys, we are on the correct class. Remember, was a link sent before. Yes, this is the updated link. That's correct. Let me quickly type the FIC mailbox address. Please then send questions, email us questions. I want to ask again nicely. Please don't use the Moodle chat function. Um, we really struggle keeping track of all the different queries we get because we also get questions in our personal email box and we really are struggling to manage it every way. So please send just emails to this email address. I would really appreciate it a lot, and then we can focus just on this email address. So yeah, that would be very helpful. And yeah, let's start with the class. And like I said, I apologize if I go a bit fast through it. Remember, you can always watch the recording and forward it and go back and so on. So you can again listen to it. So it shouldn't be a problem. And then, like I said, send an email if you're uncertain about something. Okay, let me share my screen. Our college is actually, our color in our college is green. So that's why everything, the slides and everything is green. So yes, okay. We are going to continue with the inventory systems, but today it's the perpetual inventory system. Just to go back quickly, I don't want to confuse you, but just as a reminder, the periodic inventory system that we did on Monday, the rule was there that we don't use the inventory account when we record the transaction, when inventory or merchandise or goods are purchased or sold. We use the purchases account or sales account. And if you remember, we we don't use, we only bring in the inventory account and the cost of sales account when we do our year-end adjustments. So then we only wait until the end of the year when there is a stock take, and then we will know what's our closing inventory. Since with the periodic inventory system, we do not have immediate access to what the inventory count is because we do not recognize cost of sales and inventory immediately as we are doing now in the perpetual inventory system. So in the perpetual inventory system, we will use the inventory account and not the purchases account. We will still use the sales account. But each time if there is sales, we will include inventory and cost of sales as well. So there will be 4 accounts that will be affected. But let's see, let's continue. Oh, apologies, I want to quickly unmute everyone. Please, let's have respect for one another and don't talk, and please don't mute yourself so that everyone can at least let me just click here, unmute Hazai, so that everyone can have a chance to ask something. Let me just check if you guys are unmuted. Oh yeah, you guys can unmute. Okay, let me just go back. Yes, you have a question. Okay, that was probably.
No, sorry, that was a mistake.
Oh, no problem. Okay, let's continue. Okay, yes. Okay. Can I just also ask thumbs up that you can see my screen, that I'm sure you are not. lo- Oh, yes, Tulani. Oh, it's a thumbs up and a hand raise. Thank you, guys. Okay, so you can see my screen now. Let's continue. Okay, this summary, please mute yourself, guys. Um, Let me go quickly mute. Okay, this slide is in your learning unit, so it's not unfamiliar to you if you had a chance to work through the inventory, um, y- um, yeah, inventory system so far. Now, this is a summary, but you will see it's actually also what I've already said and what we have dealt with in the first class on Monday. Now, the perpetual inventory system is the continuous updating of inventory accounts. So it's real time tracking of inventory levels. Because remember, I said when there's sales, we immediately also recognize inventory and cost of sales. Where in the periodic inventory system, we do not recognize inventory and cost of sales immediately. We only do that at year end or at the end of the financial year or financial period. Um, we then only bring that in and recognize it. So let's look at the advantages and disadvantages, just a bit of theory. The advantages is you have greater control over inventory, provides real-time information as they said above, and it reduces the need of a physical inventory count like the stock take I mentioned. The disadvantages is it's expensive to implement and time consuming to keep the detailed level of records. Okay. Now, let's look at these quickly. There's not a nice summary like in the inventory system, periodic inventory system, so I would like to just touch on these examples. Okay, now closing inventory of a previous period. Now, let's say the financial, we're currently in 2026. Now, the financial year is from 1 January 2026 until the 31st of December. Now, let's say last year the financial period was the same, of course, it was 1 January 2025 and it ended in 31 December 2025. Now, that closing inventory that you got on the 31st of December 2025 will be your opening inventory for 2026. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so that's just showing here that we are recording the inventory balance on this side. Now, just to quickly say, the inventory account, if you can remember, is an asset account. So if you remember, an asset increases on the left-hand side, which is called your debit side, and it decreases on your right-hand side, namely the credit side. So for this module and for the level we are doing here, you can remember this. This will always be the case. If you get an opening balance, it will always be recorded on the increasing side of an account. Okay, so just remember that, make a mental note. I will say that again later on when we do an example. So just take note. So when you have an opening balance, it's usually on, or it's for this module, it will be on the increasing side, as in as in the inventory account, since it's an asset account, and it increases on the left-hand side, the debit side. Okay, then we record inventory purchases in the inventory account. So now, like I said on Monday, when I see cash, I always think of the bank account. I always usually start also with the bank account when I see the word cash. So you had cash purchases of inventory. Now, when you purchase inventory, like we just said, it's an asset and it increases on the debit side. So here you will see the DR is for the debit side, and we put a little indent before we show the next account that's affected, so that we can deviate between what is debited and credited. So yes, your inventory account will increase. So because you purchased inventory, so it will increase on the debit side. Now, like I said, when you see cash, your bank account's applicable. So what will happen with your bank account? Since you are purchasing inventory, there will be a cash outflow. So your bank account will decrease. And the bank account is an asset, just like inventory. So it increases also on the left-hand side, the debit side, and it decreases on the credit side, your right-hand side. So that's why it's credited. Now, let's see when you have a credit transaction. Now, when I see credit, I immediately tell myself the bank account is not applicable. The only two accounts that can be applicable will be your trade and other receivables, namely your debtors, or your trade and other payables, namely your creditors. Now, I remember this is when you sell something on credit, it means that this client who bought from you owes you that money. So you need to still receive the money. So then the trade and other receivables account will be applicable. When you purchase something on credit, you still owe the money to the client you bought inventory from on credit. So that means it should still be paid. So then I always remind myself, then it's trade and other payables. Okay, so we are done with the recording of purchases. Now, this is now the step that is different regarding the recognizing of inventory and cost of sales. Now here, okay, I said we have sales here. Okay, this is again a cash transaction. So we sold goods or inventory for cash. So now you, if you agree, when it's cash again, it's your bank account. Now what's happening to your bank account? You are receiving something. You're receiving money because you sold something. So your bank account, which is an asset, will increase on your debit side and decrease on your credit side. But in this case, because there's a cash inflow, it will be debited. Now, what will be credited? As you can see, we said here the sales account. How come? The sales account is applicable because sales is an income and sales increases on the credit side, the right-hand side, and it decreases on the left-hand side, which is your debit side. So your sales account, because you are or sales is a, or sales occurred, your sales account will increase on the credit side. Now remember, we are dealing with sales. So then you must immediately know if it's the perpetual inventory system that you have to recognize cost of sales and your inventory accounts when you have sales. It's not like with the periodic inventory system where we only do that at the end of the year when they have physical inventory count or a stock take. Okay, so here we go. We are recognizing now our cost of sales and inventory account. Now remember, sales is with sales we use a selling price. And there's always costs involved. So that's why we call it cost of sales. Now, cost of sales is an expense. So it increases on the debit side, the left-hand side, and it decreases on the credit side, the right-hand side. So cost of sales, which is an expense, will increase when sales occurs. So your expense, cost of sales, will be debited. Now, what will happen to inventory? Now, you are selling your inventory. So it means your inventory account is going to decrease. And remember, the inventory account is an asset and decreases on the credit side, your right-hand side. So here we recognize cost of sales and inventory. Now we are looking at credit sales. Like I said, credit bank is not applicable. We have trade and other payables. That's your creditors. And trade and other receivables, which is your debtors. Now in this case, when you sell something on credit, it means that this client or this entity owes you this money. So we will record them in the trade and other receivables control account. Since we still need to receive the amount. Okay, so the trade and other receivables account is also an asset account. So it will increase because remember the debt of this client or entity will increase. So it will increase on the debit side, your left-hand side. Now again, the same will happen to your credit sales as when we had a cash transaction. Your credit sales will also increase because there were sales, but it increases on the credit side since it is an income, and an income increases on your right-hand side, the credit side. Now you will see we have a plus here. That means that we must go back and recognize cost of sales and inventory. So again, your cost of sales is when there is sales, there's always an expense, namely cost of sales. And an expense will increase on your debit side. But again, your inventory, you are selling inventory, so inventory will decrease. But inventory is an asset account, so it will decrease on your credit side, your right-hand side. Okay. This is basically what I said in a nutshell, which you can read through on your own. I hope that's fine with you guys. It's just to say the difference between what we did now with the perpetual inventory system and the periodic inventory system. Now here we are going to again do the same example that we did in the periodic inventory system. The only difference is we have another on a point number 1, which gives you the opening balance of your inventory on hand on the 1st of April. And then point number 6 is also new. It gives you the markup on inventory cost, which is 25%. Then at the bottom, I put the same paragraph that I put in the periodic inventory systems class. It's just saying that an account is a summary record of all transactions relating to a particular item in an entity. In conventional accounting in books, the account has the format of a T and is therefore called a T account. So now we can go to our first transaction, which is the business started the financial year with 20,000 Rand, and that was your inventory on hand. So remember I said you always put the opening balance on the increasing side of an account. And since inventory is an asset, it increases on your debit side. So that's why we record the opening balance on the debit side. Now let's look at transaction or at point number 2. Inventory of 10,000 Rand was purchased by the business on the 30th of April for cash. Okay, cash, I always see the bank account. What happened here? We purchased. Now, if we did now the periodic inventory system that we did Monday, we would have used the term purchases or the account purchases. But in the perpetual inventory system, we use the term inventory, or rather the account inventory. Okay, so I'm already actually giving you the answer. I just want to get or launch my polls for you. Oh, I just want to ask. I don't. Oh, yes, you can go ahead. I see you have a question, Petunia. You can go ahead. Unmute yourself. Oh, okay. It was by mistake. Okay. I apologize. I wanted to start with this poll and I totally forgot about it. If you don't mind me now interrupting this, I want to show or share this poll with you. I would really like to know um, what the answers will be that you will give. I really think that would be interesting. I would really like to know that. Let me launch it. Sianda, I'll take your hand after this poll. Okay, so I hope everyone can see it. It's please provide the word for inventory in your own language, as well as which language it is. For example, inventory in English. So what is inventory in the language you speak? And then just add what the language is, like Xhosa or something. Okay, let's see. Six responses. Okay. 12 responses. I'll come back to the hands now. Yes, I like it. Zulu. That's so interesting. Another Zulu. Isikoza. Wow, this is very interesting. Guys, if I can ask you all to participate, it would be wonderful. Even if it's the same language that, or if you want to post it in the chat. I just want to say that if you joined without your My Life email account, you will be seen as unverified. So you will unfortunately not be able to participate in the polls that I launch. So please rather join with your My Life account in the future. It's really safer and better for us. So I'm very sorry about that. Oh, wonderful. Sepedi. I love it. It's really interesting. Okay. Oh, it's still coming. I'm very happy to see this. Wow. It seems I have to wait a long time. I like it. Wow. 66 responses. And it's increasing. I'm really thrilled. Okay, 75, sure. Okay. Okay, you guys can continue. It's wonderful to see everyone participating. Let me just take Sianda's hand. Yes, Sianda, you can unmute.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yes, good afternoon.
My question is
Mm,
my question is basically pertaining to the assessment one because I saw it is written that it is a quiz. So my question is basically to ask if because unit one and unit two there's terminology and there's also the practical side of the
mm.
units. So I want to ask, in the quiz, will they be like questions where we're required to like type out, or is it like the kind of quiz where it's option based?
It will be option based, but not basically MCQs, but it will be option based. The only thing you will need to type will be the amount. If asked now, if we ask a practical question, if it's theory, we will also give you options. There will be a drop down arrow with different options which you can choose. So you don't have to worry. I hope
Okay,
I've
so I shouldn't have
yes.
to like worry. I shouldn't have to like worry about like studying the terminology sides or the theory side like word for word and like
No, I would strongly advise you to still study the theory because remember, it's the basis of basically accounting and of each and every topic. So I would still say study the theory, but what helps is you don't have to specifically write out let's say, the definition of an asset, specifically the way it is in the learning unit. You
okay.
will get an option that gives you the definition of an asset. Oh, apologies. Of yes, of an asset, yes. And then you can choose the relevant option. So I hope I've answered your question.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Yes, Mutongana.
Good day, ma'am.
Good day.
I wanted to ask if we'll be able to calculate stock regarding the perpetual inventory system. Are we going to use the FIFO method and the weighted average method, or are we going to stick to T accounts?
We are going to keep with the accounts, but you will see at the end, I quickly refer to those two valuation methods. And then we specifically say which one we are going to deal with for this module. Okay, which one will be applicable. So no, you don't have to now worry about that. I think just try to focus now on what we are doing, and then we will come to that.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
It's a pleasure. Okay, let's quickly check. Okay, chat. Oh, thank you guys. I appreciate you helping each other. Okay, now let's go back. Let me go and launch the next poll. Poll number 9. Sorry, it continued from the previous class. So which account will be debited? Let's read it just again. Inventory of 10,000 Rand was purchased by the business for cash. Okay, remember we are doing the perpetual inventory system. Okay, so which account will be debited? Let me just go to my poll. Okay, I hope everyone participates again. I'm also participating, so oh, yo, okay. It seems that I really gave the answer away, or you guys are just very clever. I think it's the second one. No, don't change your option. Stay with your first choice. Okay, guys, like I said, time is unfortunately not on our side, so I have to continue, but thank you for participating. Those of you I see, basically 77% answered inventory. Let's see. Yes, the inventory account. If you remember, at the beginning, we recorded the opening balance of the inventory of 20,000 Rand on the debit side, since it's the increasing side. So now we're just adding the next transactions account to the inventory account, or T account as they mention. Okay, so basically it helps then that you have just one inventory account where you can add all your different transactions, and it will give you, it's much easier than having a new inventory account for each transaction. Okay, so yes, the inventory system will increase. How come? We are using the inventory account since we are doing the perpetual inventory system. And what happened? We purchased inventory. So inventory will increase on our debit side. So well done. Okay, next one. Which account will be credited? I think this will be an easy one. I'm sure everyone will know this. Wow, okay. You guys are too clever today. Oh, I can't believe it. 96%, you are correct. Oh no, it's decreasing. Stay always with your first choice. Oh, it's increasing again. Okay, those of you who said bank, let's see. Yes, the bank account. Um, the bank account will be affected since we purchased for cash. Okay, so we purchase inventory cash. So that means our bank account, which is an asset, will now decrease, and an asset decreases on the credit side. So that here we record inventory 10,000 Rand. Now I'm going to give it something away. Hopefully you don't see it already. But you will see that here we say bank because our bank account is applicable for this specific transaction. And in the opposite account, the bank account, we refer to inventory. So when you go to your inventory account, you will immediately see, okay, this is my opening balance. This was transaction or point number 1. That's what I mean by the one that I put in brackets. Okay, what happened here? We had a bank. So this we can find in our bank account if we want to look at the recording of the entry. And I just put an extra sentence here. So just to make sure that we can distinguish between cash and credit purchases. Okay. So yes, I'm very happy you guys are very clever tonight. Or yes, this afternoon. Okay. Now, remember we did the T accounts. Now we're just showing, as in Monday's class, how this will look in the journal. Okay. Now, what happened? We debited inventory with 10,000 Rand. So your inventory account will be showed here on the left-hand side and the amount in the debit column. Now, if we go back, our bank account was credited. So your bank account, you put an indent, and just so that we can distinguish between debit and credit, even though we can see it if we look at the amounts, that's the way we record it. So the 10,000 Rand in the credit column, and then just a narration, as we call it, just to say actually what happened. It was purchase inventory for cash. Okay, so this was purchases. Now the next point number 3, or let's say transaction number 3. Inventory of 15,000 was purchased by the business on credit. So on credit, bank account is not applicable. And we purchased inventory. And remember, we are dealing with the perpetual inventory system. So let's see which account will be debited. Okay, let's see how many of you can participate. Okay, now I think I can stop the class. You guys are too clever today. I don't know. Yo. But well done. Those of you who selected inventory, let's see. Yes, your inventory account will be debited on the left-hand side. So here you remember I said it's the opening balance we recorded. It was, let's say, transaction number 1. Then we had the bank account. Why? What happened? We had cash purchases. That was transaction number 2 for 10,000. And now we have an entry on the debit side for the 15,000 Rand. Okay, now let's see which account will be credited. Okay, let's see. Wow, okay. Either you know the trick by now uh, how to record this, or you guys are still very clever. Wow, okay. It's wonderful. Okay, those of you who chose trade and other payables, you are correct. The trade and other payables, remember I said payables, so you still need to pay So that means it's your creditors. And when you owe money, it's definitely a liability. I hope you guys agree with me. And the liability increases on the credit side. So since you purchased on credit, you increased your debt. So if you increase it, it will be on the credit side with the amount of 15,000 Rand. And again, we write the opposite account's name as a reference. Okay, now we're just showing you again how it looks in the journal. Let's go back. Your inventory was debited with the 15,000. Here we recorded inventory 15,000. Then our trade and other payables was credited with 15,000. So remember, because it's credited, there's an indent where you start to write your the relevant transactions name. So trade and other payables, 15,000 Rand. And then a short narration, purchase inventory on credit, so that we know what happened. You see here, I also put it in brackets. It's just like a mental note for myself. Okay, now we are getting to the fun part. We are selling inventory now. Now, we are selling inventory of 22,000 Rand, which is your selling price, was sold by the business for cash. So cash, bank accounts applicable. And remember, we are doing the perpetual inventory system. So you must know by now what account to use. Let's see. Okay, which account will be debited? Let's see. Wow, almost 48%. No, don't change your answer. Stay with your first choice. Now it's gone down to 46%. Maybe you're just unsure. Okay, those of you who selected, just please let me just quickly, I want to just dismiss this. Okay, selected the bank account. You are 100% correct. Now remember, previously we had purchases, so money went out of the bank account. So we recorded it here on the credit side. And it was transaction or point number 2. And now we have sales that was for cash of 22,000 Rand. Yes, you can go ahead. You raised
Thanks.
your hand?
Yes,
Yes,
yes. I just want to check, ma'am, on your previous slide,
yes, this
um,
one.
again, the previous one,
Another one. This one.
not this one, ma'am, the previous
This
one again.
one.
Yes. When we
Yes.
speak of a trade and other payables, we are saying we are regarding that as liability.
Yes.
And I just want to find out, what about trade and other receivables?
We
What do you regard
mm,
that as?
trade and other receivables, remember, it's like your debtors, as I said. So that means it's an asset account. So an
Oh, okay.
asset account increases on the debit side. So you would have recorded it on the debit side. But we will get examples now in this on the slides regarding the trade and other receivables.
Okay, thank you.
It's a pleasure. Okay, now I must find myself again. Okay, number 14. Which account will be credited? Remember, we are doing the perpetual inventory system. Remember, when it comes to sales, we stick with sales. Okay. We still use the account sales. Okay, wonderful. You guys, half of you had it correct. 52%. Okay, let's see. Your sales account will be credited because you sold for cash. So, sales is an income and it's part of your revenue and it's also classified under equity. And sales does increase on your credit side. And since sales occurred, it will be recorded on this side. Now we're going to look again how we record this in our journals. So what happened? We had our bank account was debited with 22,000 Rand. So we write bank and the amount in the debit column. And then we had sales, which was credited. And we write then sales and in the credit column the amount. And then just a small narration, sell inventories for cash. Okay. Now comes the, oh, I forgot to say, sorry. This is part A of this transaction. So it's recording the transaction as it is. Now we must remember we have to recognize cost of sales and inventory. Okay. Now the transaction is point number 4, or we can say transaction 4. The same one, inventory of 22,000 Rand, the selling price was sold by the business for cash. So it's the same transaction. We are just now recognizing inventory and cost of sales. But now point number 6. I added because it's very important. We are telling you what our markup is on the inventory cost. It's 25%, not 25,000. Apologies. Okay, so remember it's the same now, but we need to recognize inventory and cost of sales. So let's see. Number 15. Which account will be debited? Oh, not too bad. Half of you are, bit more than half of you are correct. Oh no, don't change your choice. Remember, we already recorded it in the bank account and we already recorded it in the sales account. So the bank account will not be applicable. We are recording, or like I say, recognizing inventory and cost of sales. Okay, those of you who said cost of sales, you are correct. Okay, so your cost of sales is an expense, like I explained at the beginning of the class. Now, because it's an expense, it means it will increase on the debit side. And when your expense increases, in this case, cost of sales occurred, it increases on your left-hand side, the debit side. Okay, so now the question is, what is the amount that one records? Because remember, there's a markup of 25%. So how do you think will you calculate the cost price of the inventory if we are giving you the selling price? Oh, apologies, Yanda. I only see your hand now. You can go ahead.
Ma'am, can I ask regarding the previous slide?
This one.
Please go again.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
one.
yeah, this one.
Mm,
I understand the facts that like bank is an asset and bank will be affected because money is coming inside the bank account.
mm,
But
mm.
now, according to the rules, equity or sales, because it is an income, it's supposed to increase on the credit side and decrease on the debit side. But now here I'm
Yes.
seeing the opposites. Under bank and assets, I see you wrote sales, cash sales. So that's the confusing part for me. And I also
Oh,
understand inventory is supposed to be credited because the inventory is being sold. But now my problem is regarding the sales that you wrote there.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Remember I said that you write the opposite account's name in your account so
Oh,
that you know when you open your bank account, the T account, you will see, but wait, this was sales. So this is like a type of reference. It's the same when you open, let's say, your sales account. You will
yes.
see, but wait, we had the bank account was applicable. So now we know we can refer back to the bank account. So it's like a
Oh,
reference.
okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
It's a pleasure. Okay. Oh, now the big question is, like I said, how do you calculate the cost price of inventory? Remember, we gave you the selling price and we gave you the markup percentage of 25%. Okay, I'm launching the next poll. Sure. Okay, it's looking good. No, you're changing your answers. Again, now it's not looking so good. Okay, those of you who said or chose, sorry, this option, 22,000 multiplied by 100 divided by 125, and you got this amount, you are 100% correct. Okay, now how I always um, say to myself when I want to calculate this is, first of all, we must remember when you purchased inventory at the beginning, then you purchase it at cost price. Okay? So you purchase now inventory. Now you want to add profit, a percentage of profit that you want to make on this inventory when you sell it. So that profit percentage we call the markup percentage. So we added 25% on the cost price to get the selling price of 22,000 Rand. But now, so you can basically see this in the whole situation in this way. Your 100% here you can regard as your cost price because it's before you added the 25% of profit you want to make. So the 125 is your selling price. So what I always do is I say to myself, okay, I write the amount down and then I say, you multiply by what you want. What do we want? We want the cost price. That's before you put your markup percentage in. And then what do you have? I have 22,000, which is my selling price, which means it includes my profit. Okay, which gives you 17,600. So you multiply by what you want. What do you want? I want the 100% part. What do you have? I have the selling price. Guys, please mute. Okay, so then we divide by 125. Now we want to know which account will be credited. You can read again the inventory of 22,000 Rand. The selling price was sold by the business for cash. Okay. And remember, we are recognizing inventory and cost of sales. Okay. Sorry, it's taking a bit long. It's loading. There it is. Okay. So which account will be credited? Remember, we already recorded the cost of sales. Karabo, I'll take your hand after this poll. Wow, okay, just stay with your choice. Don't change anything. No, it's decreasing again. Again, no, stick with your first choice. Okay, but in any case, you guys are doing very well. So let's say we see which account will be credited. It will be your inventory account. Because remember, inventory is an asset. Assets increase on your debit side. It decreases on your credit side. What happened now? We sold inventory. So our inventory will decrease. You agree? It will decrease. So let me just close here. Okay, there's no hand. Okay. So basically you must, oh yes, and please remember these are the transactions we already did and recorded. Point number 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Now we're going to look again how this transactions will look like in the journal. Now, cost of sales was debited. So here, remember we did this in part A already. We had our bank account and sales. So cost of sales, which is an expense. I'm just referring to part B that you remember that it was the part where we recognize sales, cost of sales and inventory. And then if we go back, our inventory account was credited. So here we write inventory, we put an indent so that we can deviate between what was debited and credited, and we write the amount in the relevant column. And then a short narration, transfer of cost of inventory sold to the cost of sales account. Now transaction number 5, we're again selling. So remember, selling, we have, okay, I should rather not say, but we have sales, and then in this case, it's on credit, so no bank accounts applicable. It will either be your trade and other receivables, which is your debtors, or trade and other payables, which is your creditors. Okay, and we have a markup of 25%. So which account will be debited? This is part A. Apologies, I see I didn't write part A at the top. Okay, let's see. Trade and other receivables. Well done, everyone. Yes, the trade and other receivables account will be affected because we sold on credit. So when you sell something on credit, it means that the client or entity that bought from you inventory owes you still that money. So you still need to receive that money. That's why it's receivables. So, because trade and other receivables is an asset account, you increase it on your debit side. Now, let's think about which account will be credited. Wow, I'm very impressed with you guys. Okay, let's see. It's your sales account. And remember, sales is an income. It falls under equity. So it increases on the credit side. And what happened? Sales took place, so sales occurred. So you increase your sales account on the credit side. So here we entered the transaction for 26,000 Rand. So we're using our selling price. Okay, and we're busy with part A. Now let's go to the journal entry. Again, just to show you how it looks, trade and other receivables was debited. So you write trade and other receivables on the debit side, as I call it, and that side will be your credit side. So you record the amount under the debit column. And then what happened? The sales account was credited. Okay, so you write then, oh, apologies, sales, which is also revenue, and 26,000 underneath your credit column. Okay, now remember we are still doing the perpetual inventory system. Only now at part B we're going to recognize inventory and cost of sales. I noticed that a lot of you choose the inventory account, but remember, it's only when we recognize it after we recorded the normal transaction as it is, namely the sales and the trade and other receivables. So now, like I said, we are recognizing inventory and cost of sales, but now the question is which account will be debited? Okay. Think carefully about it. You had sales, so that means there was costs involved regarding the sales, and there's inventory that you sold. Okay, wonderful. Wow. Okay. You guys did very well. Those of you who chose cost of sales, you are correct. This was transaction or point number 4 that we already recorded. Now we are recording the new transaction, point number 5. But now the question is, what is the amount that we're going to record? So how will we calculate the cost price? Because remember, this is the cost of sales of the inventory that was sold. Remember, this is the selling price. So we now want the cost price. And remember, we had a markup of 25%. Okay. It's loading. Okay. Let's see. Wow. Okay. Just stop there, you guys. You almost got 100%. It's wonderful. Congratulations. Yes. It will be the 26,000, which is your selling price. You multiply by what you want. What do we want? We want the cost price. And the cost price is before you add the 25% markup. So you divide by what you have. And we have the selling price, which we regard as 125%. And then you will get your 20,800 Rand. But now I want to know which account will be credited. You will see there's a pattern that follows. So, wow, 100%. No, I think I can really stop now. No, you are decreasing it. No, no, no. Stick with what you had. Okay, almost again, it's 80% now. Okay, it's still very, very good. Let's see. Your account that will be credited is your inventory account. Because remember, we are recognizing inventory and cost of sales. Okay, so this was the transactions that we already entered. Here I say point number 1 or transaction 1, just like how you want to call it. And here we already had cost of sales. That was the first transaction that we did sales, that we had sales, where we recognized the inventory. And now this is the new entry we are recording for point number 5 on transaction number 5. And here is the same transaction we already recorded. Okay, now we're going to look again at the journal entry. What happened? We debited cost of sales. So, cost of sales, remember we already did this. So, cost of sales, which is an expense, will be recorded in your debit column. And what did we credit? We credited the inventory account on the credit side. Here's the inventory account, the amount on the credit side, and just a narration, transfer of cost of inventory sold to cost of sales account. Okay, the effect of the journal entries above is that there are cash sales of 22,000 Rand. That was now the first sale transaction we had. So you can just go back to that transaction. So above is there are cash sales of 22,000 Rand that can be matched against an expense. The cost of inventory sold that we calculated as 17,600. And the difference between the two will give you your gross profit of 4,400. The second transaction we did was just now regarding sales. There are also credit sales of 26,000 Rand that can be matched against an expense, cost of inventory, which we calculated as 20,800, and the difference between the two will give you your gross profit of 5,200. Now, the big difference between the perpetual and periodic inventory system, remember we are currently doing the perpetual inventory system, is the continuous adjustment of inventory. For the perpetual inventory system, it's like you saw now, if we have sales, inventory and cost of sales has to be recognized. So there's a continuous adjustment or an adjustment only at a certain time. That's your periodic inventory system. That's at the end of a financial year or at a certain period. Okay, when you do have your stock take. Now we are doing the year-end adjustments. I see we're running out of time. The closing of entries required at the end of the financial year under the perpetual inventory or periodic inventory system are the same, with the following exceptions. For the periodic inventory system, an entry is made in the inventory account to adjust the balance to the amount of inventory that was counted and valued at year end, including including the adjustment of the cost of sales account. Just read this when you are going through the slides again. I know you're overwhelmed now with everything. So don't worry, just read this again when, like I said, when you watch the recording. Now, unfortunately, we have ran out of time. And I wanted to just do these 2 transactions with you. You can really, I will upload the slides for you with the recording of tonight. And then please, if you guys don't mind, unfortunately there's no time to schedule another class. But because we already had now a class on Monday, but go through this. You will see it's straightforward. I give it to you step by step that you can go through it. The only difference now is we are going to use or refer to units and give you a price per unit. That's the only difference. So here you guys will see also the calculating thereof, the same as we did. We will account debited, account credited, trade and other payables, and how it looks in your year-end adjustments journal. And remember, this is again part A. Now, again, how do you calculate the selling price in this case? And here is, I show the calculation. And then which account will be debited? Which account? Here we have trade and others receivables, Yanda. Here you will see that. And the account that will be credited and just how it will be recorded in the journal when you have your year-end adjustments. Then that I lastly want to quickly show you is, apologies, the markup on cost. Now guys, to be honest with you, this you can read through, but you are going to have to memorize this, because there's actually formulas like you probably saw already. For those of you who had time to work through the inventory learning unit. Okay, so we are just explaining to you and showing you again the formulas that one can use. Here is the cost price formula. It's straightforward. You take the amounts that are provided and you calculate the amount. And here we just show you another way you can do it. I prefer this one. And this is the same like we just did. Remember, we had the cost price, which I said was equivalent to 100%. Then we had our profit, which is a markup of 20%. And here we have our selling price of 120. So I hope it makes now more sense. And yes, the selling price formula, you have to memorize it and do it just as we show here. You have the amounts, it's given to you. And then just the valuation methods, which someone asked about in the beginning of the class. Okay, just quickly to show you, I know you need to leave for the other class. I'm just referring to evaluation method here. You can read through it. And then here I'm showing you what the two valuation methods are. It's your first in, first out, weighted average. But for this module, we are concentrating on the FIFO. First in, first out. Here we show you the abbreviation. So we are just focusing on this. You will see there's no exercise regarding this. Oh no, apologies. There's one exercise regarding that, but you do not have to worry too much about it. Just take note of this and remember that we are just doing the first in, first out method. So that's the end. I apologize for rushing through the last part. It's really, I wish I could, yeah, it's very difficult. I wish I could really have done it more properly or go through everything properly. But like I said, I'm uploading the slides and please send any questions you have to us in the FIC mailbox. I want to ask, I'm just posted the evaluation form. If you maybe have a few minutes to just quickly, or a minute. Thank you guys. I appreciate the thumbs up and hearts and hand clap and so on. If you want to do it after the depreciation class, which you are attending now, it's still fine. I won't download it or look at it tonight. I will only download it tomorrow. But guys, I really hope this class was beneficial to you and that it really helped. And that, yeah, please, if there's something, please send us an email. Let me just put the email address again for you in the chat. That's how we can answer your questions. And if you guys really feel you need another class, send us an email depending on how many people wants a class. Yes, I'll send the recording. I will try and ask the gentleman that uploads it to do it already tomorrow or otherwise on the latest Friday. Um, Oh, the another class. Oh my gosh, sorry, I don't have that other class link. Well, let me quickly go there because I'm also joining the same class. Let me just find myself. Let me get the new link. This is for depreciation. Okay, I'm pasting it. Oh my gosh, it's very big. Okay, I don't know how come. But yes, thank you everyone who joined the class and apologies again for the time. I know it's not convenient for everyone and I will try my best to see how we can assist you further due to not finishing properly. Thank you everyone and I hope I see you. Yes, sorry.
Sorry,
Yes.
sorry, ma'am, to just I just want to ask, where are you gonna upload the slides?
It will be uploaded under your announcements. You will also see that's where we upload the links and dates and topics of the classes. So under announcements, we will upload or we will provide you with a link. And that link you can click on. It's a YouTube link. You will see all the other recordings there as well. If you go to your announcements now or later, you will see I uploaded an announcement this afternoon with Monday class, Monday night's class, the recording thereof. Thank you, guys. I hope I see you in the depreciation class. I'm going to join as well. I will be in the background trying to assist with the chats. Thank you, everyone. Have a blessed class further and evening. Goodbye.